Look at the glass of water sitting near you right now, or visualize the last sip you took. To the uninitiated eye, it is just clear liquid, inert, harmless, ordinary. But what if I told you that you are staring at a biological supercomputer sitting in standby mode? It is not empty. It is holding its breath, waiting for a specific password from your voice. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever drunk a full glass of water, yet still felt a strange, deep thirst that the liquid didn't quench? You feel the water hit your spirit, but the fatigue remains. The brain fog doesn't lift. That is because you are drinking what the ancient mystics called dead water. In the suppressed pages of the Pistis Sophia, texts deliberately hunted down and removed from the Bible, there is a description of a daily protocol performed by the Nazarene. Before water ever touched his lips, he didn't just give thanks. He whispered a command sequence, 5 specific syllables. The ancient manuscripts claim the water would instantly react, shimmering as if liquid light were suddenly moving through it. Understand this distinction. This wasn't a prayer. It was an override code. It was quantum mechanics long before the term existed. Most of the modern world is walking around chronologically dehydrated. You aren't sick. You aren't broken. You are simply drinking empty vessels that hydrate the meat suit but starve the soul. You are here right now because you can feel that discrepancy. You belong to the 0.1% who look at the physical world and suspect there is a hidden layer. In the next few minutes, I am going to hand you back the keys to this lost technology. You will learn the exact 2 words that turn ordinary tap water into a direct transmission device for the monad frequency. But a fair warning. Once you taste water that has been awakened, you will never be able to drink dead water again. Stop for a second. Look at your hand. Pinch your skin. It feels solid, doesn't it? It feels like a machine made of meat and bone. But this is the Matrix's greatest illusion. If you could switch your eyes to a molecular lens right now, that solidity would vanish. You would see that you are, in essence, a contained ocean walking on land. You are 99% water by molecular count. Why does this matter? Because in Gnostic physics, water is not just hydration, it is the interface. It is the only bridge between the spirit and the simulation. Think of the monad, the infinite light, as a high-voltage current. Your physical body, in its dense state, is a low-voltage wire. If source energy were to enter you directly, unmodified, the circuit would blow. It is too much power for dense matter. This is where water becomes the divine transformer. It exists in a state of flux, highly receptive and infinitely programmable. Ask yourself this question. Why do you feel energized standing near a waterfall but feel drained after drinking a glass of tap water? It is the same chemical substance, H2O. The difference is memory. Science eventually caught up. They labeled it structured water or exclusion zone water, finally admitting that memory exists within the molecule. But while modern researchers were busy studying the hardware, the Nazarene was already using the source code. Tap water is dead because it has been forced through right-angle pipes, chemically treated and stripped of its geometry. It is a blank hard drive formatted to 0. But when you speak into a glass, you are not just making noise, you are rewriting the reality of that liquid. You are restructuring the crystal to hold a higher charge. Organized religion tried to hide this. They knew water conducts spiritual frequency. That's why holy water exists. But look at their strategy. They externalized the power. They convinced you that water could only be activated by a priest in a church using approved Latin phrases. They took a universal law of physics and turned it into a permission slip. They wanted you to believe the magic was in the priest, but the magic was always in the water, and the password was always in your voice. When you drink dead water, it passes through you like a ghost. But when you drink water imprinted with monad frequency, you are drinking liquid light. And because you are a liquid crystal system, it doesn't digest, it distributes instantly. The hardware is ready. Now, let's install the software. We have arrived at the threshold. You are about to receive the activation key. But before I give you the syllables, you must understand the weapon you are holding. In our modern world, we treat words as cheap labels. We use them to gossip, to complain, to fill the silence. But in the ancient mystery schools, speech was understood as acoustic geometry. When you speak, you are not just pushing air, you are compressing the ether into a specific shape. The code I am about to give you is not English. It is a specific frequency translated into sound. If you speak these words with a dormant mind, they are just noise. But if you speak them with the understanding I am about to give you, they become the keys that unlock the molecular gates of matter. The code consists of 2 distinct phrases, 5 syllables that bridge the gap between the finite and the infinite. The first key is the internal switch. You speak the words, I am. Pause here. Do not underestimate this. When you say I am, you are not speaking to the water yet, you are speaking to the universe. In the Gnostic tradition, I am is the ultimate statement of sovereignty. It is the vibration of the monad itself. Think of your consciousness like a computer system operating in guest mode, limited access, read-only permissions. When you declare I am, you are entering the admin password. You are claiming root access to your own reality. You are flipping the switch from passive observer to active creator. You are reminding your cellular structure that you are not the body. You are the operator of the body. Once the operator is online, and only then do you deliver the instruction. You speak the second key, living water. In the original Aramaic, this phrase was ma'im shayim. It didn't just mean fresh water. It referred to water that was moving, alive, spiritually conductive. But physically, you are doing something even more profound. By looking at the water and naming it living, you are performing a quantum collapse. You are stripping away the dead memory of the pipes, the plastic bottles, the stagnation. You are commanding the water to return to its primordial state, chaotic, high potential, and awake. Most people pray at the water, hoping for a favor. You are doing something different. You are acknowledging the water as a conscious entity. It functions like a cosmic circuit. I am turns on the generator. Living water opens the receiver. When these 2 frequencies connect, the spark jumps. The water is no longer H2O. It stops being dead matter and becomes a divine conductor. Now, let us perform the activation together. Whether you have a glass in your hand right now or are visualizing the process, the protocol remains the same. This is not a mindless drink. This is a calibration. First, hold the vessel. Do not just grip it. Feel the weight of the water in your palm. Center your gaze on the liquid. Allow the room around you to blur until only you and the water exist. You are entering the sacred space. Step 1. The internal anchor. Take a breath. With absolute authority, either aloud or projected silently with your inner voice. Speak the first key. I am. Pause for 2 seconds. Do not rush this. You are waiting for the echo. You may feel a subtle heat rising in your chest, or a sudden, sharp stillness in your mind. That is your frequency shifting gears. You have just taken command of the room. Step 2. The external command. Look through the water, not at the surface. Speak the second key. Living water. Now, watch. Wait for it. Sensitive individuals often report a momentary shimmer, a distortion in the refraction, like heat rising off pavement. Others feel a sudden warmth radiating into their fingers. Even if you see nothing with your physical eyes, know this: the structure has changed. The chaotic potential has been organized. The water is now listening. Step 3. The intake. Drink. Do not gulp. Sip consciously. As the liquid crosses your lips, pay attention to the texture. It often tastes different, smoother, thinner, or slightly sweeter than before. Visualize it not as water, but as liquid light cascading down your throat. And then, wait. Give it 30 seconds. The reaction is rarely subtle. It usually begins in the solar plexus, a tingling sensation, like a battery being connected. Then, it moves up. The mental fog that has been clouding your focus, it doesn't just fade, it evaporates. It feels like upgrading your RAM instantly. The static noise of the world quiets down. Your vision sharpens. You feel a surge of clean, sustained energy that has nothing to do with caffeine and everything to do with resonance. You have just successfully bridged the gap. You didn't just hydrate a biological machine. You refueled a divine instrument with high-octane frequency. There is a secondary effect to this protocol, a hidden power that the ancient texts hint at, but modern quantum physics is only just beginning to understand. It is called quantum entrainment. When you activate the water and introduce it into your system, you are not just changing your biology, you are upgrading your signal. Think of a tuning fork. When you strike a tuning fork and hold it near a glass of water, the water begins to vibrate in sympathy with that frequency. Now, understand this. You are the tuning fork. In any environment, the strongest frequency wins. Most people you meet are walking around with chaotic, discordant internal waters. They are reactive. They are thermometers. They simply reflect the temperature of the room, going up or down based on the chaos around them. But when you carry the living water code in your cells, you become the thermostat. You set the temperature. You don't need to say a word. By simply walking into a room, your presence alone forces the chaotic frequencies around you to align with your stability. Have you ever noticed how some people can silence a room just by entering it? That is not charisma. That is frequency dominance. When you drink the activated water, you are turning up the volume of your spiritual signal. Arguments will tend to de-escalate in your presence. Anxiety in others will drop when they stand near you. Why? Because disorder cannot exist in the presence of a highly ordered, coherent frequency. This is the hidden power of the chosen ones. You are not just hydrating a body. You are becoming a terraformer of reality. You are bringing the order of the monad down into the chaos of the material world. This is why the technique had to be suppressed. One awakened person, vibrating at the frequency of living water, is more powerful than 10,000 sleepwalkers. Here is the truth that makes people uncomfortable. The lethargy, the brain fog, the constant low-level anxiety you feel. It is not natural. It is engineered. In the Gnostic tradition, there are entities described as Archons, parasitic forces that feed on low vibrational energy. They cannot touch the monad. They cannot feed on light. So their entire strategy is to keep the human vessel dense, dim, and dehydrated. They manipulate the environment to ensure you consume dead water, dead food, and dead information. When your internal water is stagnant, your frequency drops. You become a buffet for these energetic parasites. Listen closely. Right now, as you hear this, a part of you might be feeling resistance. You might feel a sudden urge to click away, or a whisper in your mind saying, "This is interesting, I'll try it tomorrow." That is not your thought. That is the parasite defending itself. It knows that if you activate your water tonight, its food source gets cut off. This is why the activation is dangerous to the control system. When you speak "I am living water" over your glass, you are not just improving your health. You are erecting a force field. The mechanism is dimensional. Archons are confined to a heavy, slow, oscillating bandwidth. They require a dense target to lock onto. But when you activate your water, you accelerate your cellular vibration beyond their detection range. You do not just block them, you become invisible to them. It is a basic law of resonance. A parasite cannot attach to a host that is vibrating faster than itself. Chosen ones who commit to this protocol report that within 7 days, the attacks stop, the intrusive thoughts vanish, the emotional heaviness lifts. Why? Because you have become inhospitable to the parasite. You are too bright to be eaten. The church knew this. The ancient mystery schools knew this. A human being who can self-activate, who can source their own divine connection through a simple glass of water, is a human being who cannot be controlled. They don't need a priest. They don't need a system. They become their own temple. You have the code now. The system is betting on your forgetfulness. They are counting on your inertia. Do not give them that satisfaction. The transmission is complete. The key is now in your hand. But remember, knowledge without application is merely philosophy. The Archons are betting on your amnesia. They are counting on the distraction of the world to pull you back into the low-frequency hum of the Matrix before you take your first sip of truth. Do not let them win. Right now, in this moment, you stand at a crossroads. To the left is the old way, dead water, mental fog, and spiritual sleep. To the right is the path of sovereignty. If you are ready to break the cycle, you must seal this activation immediately. Go to the comments below and write 3 words. I activate now. Do not just type it. Declare it. Let this be the acoustic signal that shifts your timeline. When you see others writing it, know that you are not alone. You are part of a silent legion that is waking up across the globe. And this is just the beginning. The code of water is the foundation, but there is more. We will soon unlock the protocols for programming your food and clearing the energy of your home. If you wish to receive these advanced transmissions, you must be positioned to hear them. Click subscribe to enter the inner circle. Finally, leave a like on this video. Not for me, but for the mission. This information is designed to be buried by the algorithm. Every like acts as a digital beacon, pushing this truth through the noise, so that another chosen one, wandering in the dark, might find the light. The glass is waiting. The words are ready. I am living water. Speak it. Drink it. You are awake. You are aligned. You are untouchable.